In this video, I wanted to show you how I would design a t-shirt using elements from Creative Fabrica. Last video, I showed you CF Spark, this one right here, this video. I showed you how to use the AI system there. This time, I'm gonna build a t-shirt using fonts and graphics from Creative Fabrica. Let's go. Hey everyone, it's Juno with Detour Shirts. In this video, I'm going to talk about Creative Fabrica. The last time I talked about Creative Fabrica was CF Spark, and in the comments a lot of you said that you've used Creative Fabrica and you'd like to see a video about how to use some of the other things. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to use fonts and graphics from Creative Fabrica. I'm going to show you a little bit about the license, how they use that, and then bring all of this into Affinity Designer. Now you could use other applications if you don't have Affinity Designer. You could use Photopea or Illustrator or Photoshop, whichever you prefer. I'm going to do it in Affinity Designer this time. Let me know in the comments if there's another app that you want me to do in a different video. So I'm going to go to Creative Fabrica first, download these assets, and then bring them into Affinity Designer, and we're going to put together a t-shirt. Okay, so first here we are on Creative Fabrica, creativefabrica.com. So you can see CF Spark, the one we talked about last time, is one of the top 4 things that they showcase here. The other 3 are fonts, graphics, and downloads, free downloads, and I kind of mentioned that one already. So I wanted to show you about fonts. You can see they have 131,000 fonts, so lots of fonts here, and then over 6 million graphics. So you can find a lot of things on here, and you can sign up for free. You can try this out for free. And when you do, if you do like it, it is only $4.99 a month, or a total, I think you have to sign up for the year, which is a huge savings, because if we go, I'm already signed in here, so I can't see the plans, but I'm gonna go here in incognito. You can see the normal plan is $29 a month. So you're doing a lot of savings. So try it out for free, see if you like it. If you do like it, you can click, I'll have a link in the description to get you this price right here. I also wanted to show you this that you may not have known about, and that is print on demand usage. So there's going to be 2 different usages on print on demand. I'm going to show you. The first one is basic print on demand. And that is basically saying you can't just download this and use that as itself, by itself for print on demand. You kind of have to change it. You see how this one's changing the color, it added other things in the background and so on. So you can't use it just how it is. You got to use it just kind of like Canva. You're going to have to mix things around and use it together. So you can read this right here. This is just on the subscription license page. There's also a full print on demand pod usage, and it says you can create and upload designs to pod sites that are the same or similar to the original. So a little bit different than this one. This one has to be very unique. This one can be closer to the same. So when we see these full print on demand or basic print on demand, that's what those things mean. All right, so let's get into the fonts and graphics. So first things first, let's just hit fonts here and find a good font. You can see they have some really cool ones that they're showcasing here. This one's really cool, this black letter. I love these, but I'm gonna pick one down here. I want to do something for retro, those retro 70, and they have a lot of, like, look at that, vintage, retro magic, retro here, magic flower. I'm going to use this magic flower. I could use any one of these retro ones, but I'm going to go here. Now you can see, because I signed up for the free trial, this download is free. So I'm here now on the incognito site, and it is $5. So if I didn't sign up for the free trial, I would pay $5 for this font, right? So I'm getting it now for free because I did the free trial here. So keep that in mind, $5 for this font. So I'm gonna download it first. So you can see right here, commercial usage allowed. So I can use it on my print on demand stuff commercially. And then it's going to download to my downloads folder. We'll see that later. There's also a bonus files here, which is interesting. So I'm going to, why not, download that too. All right, and then let's go to graphics. So I need something that's retro that I can use for it. This is kind of cool. Let's see. We could do some kind of summer thing. There's some retro things in here. I could do red, white, and blue. I'm going to show you how much this one would be if I didn't sign up for free. Let's go to graphics and go here, and you can see this one, even at 70% off, it's $720. So $5 plus $720 is what I would have paid. And you don't have to sign up. You could just pay those kinds of prices without signing up too. So, but you can see it's a great deal if you do sign up. So, and I'm going to download this one. And you can see right here, this is what I'm talking about, commercial and full pod usage allowed. So that means I can keep it the way it is here or make just slight changes and I'll be okay for print on demand. I still like, even though they say you can use it like this, I still like making a change because everybody can do it this way and I don't want to copy anybody. And so I'm going to take some of these and I'm going to change it up. And my hope is nobody else will have the same kind of thing that I do because I'm going to mix the font that we downloaded plus these graphics and make something original. All right, so now that those are in my downloads folder, I'm going to show you how to open it up in Affinity Designer, and then we're going to mix and match some of these things and make a t-shirt design. All right, so here I am. This is my downloads folder. You can see right here, I wanted to show you what it looks like. It comes in a zip file, and we're just going to double click on it and open it up. You see I got that one. I'm going to double click on this one, double click on this one. And so this is a SVG. This one has a folder of this is the font, the OTC font and OTC font. And this is a folder with all the PNGs and just a lot of stuff in there. Okay, so I'm gonna try and double click on this for the font. And you can see it opened up right away in my font book, and I'm gonna just install. And I can do the same thing for the other one. So let's go back and do this italic version, double click. It's gonna open up again and I'm gonna install. Good. Okay, so now that I have those installed, I'm gonna come in here and drag in some of the thing. I have Affinity Designer 2 open here. I have my artboard at 4500 by 5400, and I'm gonna start dragging in some things from those download files here, and then we're gonna put everything together. All right, so here I am on Affinity Designer. You can see I have my board here, and then I brought in everything that I downloaded. So I'm gonna show you, the first one had all of these. They're PNG files, but they're two of the same thing. So one has a distressed, you can see this one has distressed, and another one's not distressed. And they're PNG files, which means I can't manipulate. It's one big thing. I can't go in here and kind of take that out or take that out. It's kind of like a Photoshop file, a raster file. So I can't go and change anything on here. I have to kind of use it as is. But luckily in Affinity Designer, one thing I could do is use this crop tool here. So if I click on crop and I just wanted to use that, I could do that. So I'm gonna do some of that in this video here. Okay, and so you can see there's a bunch of them. So I'm gonna back out here so you can see I got all of these, right? And this is the one that said you can use it as is, but I don't wanna do that. I'm gonna kind of take pieces from here and do it. So the other one came in as a SVG. Now the difference between SVG and PNG is I can go in here and actually click on here. This is the extra files that I got with the font, right? So you can see it's the same font that we're using here, and I'm gonna double click on it and double click on it and double click on it. You can see it is a vector file, so I can come in here and I can change the colors if I want. I could do, move things around. I can move points if I want, and things like that. So I can take this flower and kind of separate it from the rest of it and use those elements. So really cool difference between SVG and PNG, right? So first things first, let's do, type in a word, and we're gonna use that font. So I'm gonna click on my type tool here and click on here. I already have it. It's called Magic Flower. And I'm gonna do groovy. And then I'm gonna save that as its own thing. I'm gonna hold down Option and drag this down. And I'm just gonna do summer. Now groovy summer is not a trending topic right now, but it could be, depending on how many of you make it here and if you like it. I'm gonna make groovy a little smaller here so that I can put something here. And then I'm gonna grab all of these And then I'm gonna use something that I showed before, and this is in Affinity Designer 2, and you go to Layer, Warp, Group, and we're just gonna mesh it, okay? And so we're gonna push one down like this, push one up like this, and we're gonna do the same on this one. So up, down, and we can move some of these here too. So move, make that groovy. Put this here, pull that up, and so on. We're just giving it a little bit extra so it's not just flat. I want to kind of have it be more groovy, right? So I'm going to move these lines here and so on. So once I got it the way I want it, I can come in here and color it. So we're going to color that a little later because I'm going to color it the same color as some of those other things. So we want a tall rectangle, right? So let's use one of these things. I could use any one of these. I'm just going to use this one right here. This is the non-distressed version. And I'm going to come in here. I'm going to hold down Option and drag it. So this is a copy of that one right there. And then I'm just going to use my crop tool. Click on that. And I'm going to bring it up to about there. I may have some of these cut off, but that's okay. It's going to be in back of these right here. And I can make this just a little bit bigger. You don't want to make it too much bigger because, again, it's a PNG. And so it's going to start pixelating if we get too much bigger. But you can see when I scroll in, it's still pretty good, right? It's not pixelating right now. If I go in closer, you can see it's still not pixelating. I have to go like super close before it gets pixelated. So I think this is really fine. And now I'm going to color this the same colors as these, just so I can use a red, white, and blue. Okay, so I'm just going to move that heart. You see, I want it to be covered right there. So I could put it either behind the O or behind the V. I'm going to do behind the O there. And I'm going to move it to the back. Boom. And then I'm going to color these. So this one, maybe I'll do that blue right here. Click it. And then maybe this summer I'll do the red here. Click it. One thing I notice is they have outlines here. So I'm going to do the same thing with the outline. I'm going to do the same color as that. So I'm going to come in here and click that color. You see that? Boom. And then, of course, I'm going to have to make it a little thicker. So let's do like 6. Yeah, that looks good. I'm going to do the same thing for summer. That gray. And then 6. Good. And I kind of like that drop shadow that we had here with that black. So one thing else I'm going to do is double click on it. When I have summer here, I'm going to hold down Option and drag this. And then come back here to color and color the inside that gray, but then move it to the back, right? Same thing here on Groovy. Let's do the same thing. Holding down Option, dragging it behind, color the gray, move it to the back. Hey, that's looking good. Okay, so we still need it to be a taller rectangle. So I need something below here and above there and maybe fill in some of these spaces. So let's go back to here. I kind of like how this is there. I got one here. So let's use the one that's not distressed here. And we could probably use this star too. That would be really cool. So I'm going to Option, drag, see that there's both of them, and I'm gonna do that crop tool and just crop out this star here. I think that would be great. I'll put the star right there, and let's do this ball. I'm gonna do the crop tool again and just crop out the ball. You see how easy that is in Affinity Designer? You can just crop it out like that. And I'm gonna put that right there. All right, I want to move this down just a little bit to kind of be in the same spot as that. And I think this matches because it has the fireworks, and the fireworks, it's great. Let's do something above here. I kind of like these right here, and I think that could work. So I'm gonna just grab this. I'm gonna double click, and you can see this is SVG, so I can move it here. I can also change it. So if I just want 2 of them, I just do that and delete, see that? And if I want to change the color, I can click on that and use that same gray that we had before and make it as big as I want, maybe stretching it out across the top like that. And I can move this in the back as well by going here. Boom. I'm going to drag this option, drag and put it down here. Now I like that. Maybe I'm going to flip this. So come in here and flip this one. Look at that. There you go. Groovy summer. I think it works great. I'm going to make this a little smaller so I can see the Y. There you go. And I could flip this too. If I wanted to flip that, I think that would be great because the stars are on this side now. Before I save it, I still want to fill in this space here. So I'm going to try and fill it with one of these. I'm going to use this guy right here, this happy flower. Bring it over and maybe make it a little bigger. It's a little bit of different style, but it still kind of works. I'm going to color it though. Instead of light blue, you can see this says light blue. I'm going to do this red here, maybe this one. Right? And I can do it for all of them. And the face is white, so I'm gonna change that to be kind of the off-white. There you go, I filled the space. I think it's time to export this. I'm gonna click on Artboard. I'm gonna go to File, Export. What you wanna do here is you see selection area. It has a white background. You want it to be selection only so that there's not a white background. And then once you see that, hit Export. And now we're going to title it. I'm going to title it Groovy Summer and hit save. So we're going to take that PNG file and I'll show you what it looks like in Amazon Merch on Demand. So last step, I'm here, Amazon Merch on Demand. I drag that PNG that we did, that transparent PNG, and you can see it looks great on t-shirts and a lot of different colors. I think it looks great on this blue. We got this gray, white, of course, looks great. Red, maybe, I don't know. I'm gonna turn that off. Light gray, pink, yeah, I think pink would work. So any of the light colors. Now you could go back again and try this, see if it works on dark colors on Affinity Designer. But because this is a PNG, I didn't want to play around with it. But if you did some SVG files when you download it from Creative Fabrica, again, there's tons of SVG ones there too. You could probably change these colors to different colors, right? That works better. But this had a black outline on it on a PNG, so I decided to just leave it for light t-shirts. So have fun with this. I think you can do so much more. This is just one example of thousands of fonts and literally millions of graphics, right, that we saw in there. So I think this would be great. You can see it didn't take me too long, and I can do lots of other designs, not just this one, from just the one that I downloaded. You saw all those different files, the SVGs and the PNGs, and my font that I hid here. Great font for vintage designs here. So pretty cool. So that is it for this video. Hopefully that was really helpful so you can see how to use the fonts, how to use the graphics on Creative Fabrica, just tons of them on there. Again, if you want to try it out, there's a free trial, but I also have a link in the description. It is an affiliate link, but it will get you that price, that really good yearly price, which is about $4.99 a month. And you can see some of those things cost more than both of those things cost more than $4.99. So I think it's a really good deal. Thanks again for watching, and if you want to see that CF Spark video that I made for Creative Fabrica, the Creative Fabrica AI, click on this video right here. You can watch all about it. It's another part of Creative Fabrica that's really cool. So as always, guys, keep creating and keep learning. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.